What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be turning these leftover cedar scraps into this awesome little mini planter. It's a simple and quick, easy way to use up those offcuts piling up in your shop. Not only are these beginner friendly, but they're also a great way to make some extra coin off of discarded material. If you really want to spruce them up, stick around to the end of the video and I'll tell you how. Thanks for watching, and let's get started.
For this build, I'm using cedar fence picket scraps. You can use anything you've got laying around the shop. First, I ripped down my pieces to 1.5 inches wide on the table saw. This is a little time consuming since all the pieces I have are different lengths, but take your time and you will soon see the finish line. Now on the miter saw, I cut 4 pieces 4 inches long, 4 pieces 3 inches long, and then I just rip off the edge of the cedar fence picket 3/8 of an inch by 4 to make the legs. Using wood glue and brad nails, I start assembling. I mount the 3-inch pieces to the inside edge of the 4-inch piece and continue that way to make 2 complete squares. Note, if you want these to be smooth, I highly recommend sanding the pieces before you make any cuts, and especially before doing any assembly. It makes the work a lot easier when they aren't already put together, and it'll save you a lot of time towards the end of the build. Once I have the 2 squares assembled, I apply glue to the top edge of 1 square, centering them up and clamping them in place, making sure that the cut edges are all facing the same way. Assembling them this way will enable me to cover up the rough cut edges when I start installing the legs. While the glue dries, I begin mounting the legs using wood glue and 5/8 of an inch 18 gauge brad nails that will help to hold them together. As I stated before, I use the legs to cover the sawn edge of the side pieces, and then I just work my way around to all 4 corners, making sure they're all even at the top and bottom. It's really starting to take a little bit of a shape now and actually look like a mini planter. I always love watching the creation come to life. It always makes me feel pretty good to see one straight out of my head or off of a sketch on a piece of paper come to fruition. Now that I have a leg mounted in each corner, I can remove the clamps and install the final leg pieces. Make sure they're even at the top and the bottom with the existing legs already installed so you don't get that wobble, and they also don't interfere with the top trim. Make sure to wipe off any glue squeeze out at this time. Continue around to the 4 corners until you have all leg pieces installed, being 8 total. If you don't have a brad nailer, don't worry. The first few of these that I made only used wood glue for assembly, and they're still holding together to this day. It just takes a little more time for glue to dry, so you can move on to the next step. I've made many variations of this planter, but this has been my fastest method, and it's very easy to batch these out to save time and just make some extra cash for the shop from all the cutoffs that I have laying around. Next, I cut a piece for the bottom panel 3 inches by 3 inches. It should fit pretty snug, but you can shave it down if need be just to get it to fit properly in the planter. I attach it in place the same way using the glue and the brad nails. If you're planning to market these for live plants, go ahead and drill a couple drain holes at the bottom. Most of the customers I sell these to display them on their desk and either use artificial plants or they just have a live plant in a pot that they remove when they water it. Either way, it's up to you how you present them. So to be safe, you can drill holes in all of the bottoms, or if you're doing them for certain customers, ask them if they want to be using live plants or artificial plants. That way you can make your decision based on your customer's needs. Back over to the table saw. I cut 4 pieces 1 inch wide. That will make up my top trim. Using the bandsaw, I set my fence to 3/16 of an inch and cut the pieces down to the proper thickness. If you don't have a bandsaw, you could do this on a table saw, but the pieces are very thin, so take extra caution if you do it this way. The pieces have to be sawn standing on the sides, which make it very easy for kickbacks, or the piece slips down in between the blade down in the box, which is also very dangerous. So take your time and use extreme caution when trying to get the thinner pieces. Now set the miter saw to a 45-degree angle and make a cut at one end of the trim. Flip the piece over and measuring 4 3/4 inches from tip to tip, make the same 45-degree cut at the other end. Repeat this for all 4 pieces. Sometimes a dull blade can break the trim when it's at this thickness. If this happens and you feel comfortable with your miter saw ability, just stack all 4 pieces on top of each other to make the cuts, or do the angle cuts before you thin the boards down. At the normal thickness, you shouldn't have any problems with them cracking or chipping. Once I get all the angles cut, I move back over to assembly. If you haven't sanded already, you can do that before connecting the pieces together to get out any splinters or rough spots you may have in the angle cuts. Using wood glue and a little bitty torn piece of duct tape, I connect them at all the corners, just enough to get them positioned on top of the box without it falling apart while I try to mount them. Hopefully your angles meet up correctly, and this will be a smooth and easy assembly. I apply glue to the top edge of the planter, and after carefully positioning the trim, I secure it in place with brad nails, being sure that I don't miss and have a nail protruding out either the sides or the inside. The inside edge of your planter should be flush with the inside edge of your trim. After I verify this, I go ahead and put one nail on the center mark of the trim and just turn it around until all sides are complete. After nailing down the trim on all 4 sides, I remove the duct tape and put 2 nails in each corner. I'm not really sure the corner nails are necessary, but I wanted to show you that this is an option if you see fit to do so. Be careful here again to not miss as you pop in the nails. I put my final mark on the bottom and it's ready for shipping. Here I give it a quick sanding to clean up any rough edges or splinters. You can leave it natural, add a coat of finish, or even hit it with some outdoor sealer if it's going to be going outside. And boom, there's your mini cedar planter made entirely from scrap. Not bad for 20 minutes of work, right? You can easily get $15 to $25 for these depending on how and where you stage them and market them. The local blue box store sells a 6-pack of live succulent plants for $10 and an artificial 6-pack for $20. But currently they're on sale for $12, and I will drop a link in the description. Adding one to each planter can really boost sales and make the profit margin a lot higher. After all, the wood is free scrap, and you paid around $2 to $3 per plant. They're a hot item, especially in office environments where there aren't big areas for decoration, or for people who like foliage but don't have time to take care of a big plant. Either way, use your imagination, and good luck with your sales. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this quick build, drop a comment and let me know what you would put in one of these, and if you were able to sell any of them. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you on the next one.